Hi and welcome. This is How to Build a Creative Business. I am your host, Ali Hart. I am an artist and a businesswoman. And on this podcast, we unravel the ins and the outs of what it really means in 2022 to bring your creative practice and your business mind all in one so that you're the best version of you. I really hope you enjoy the episode. Hi and welcome to 2022. Yeah, it's February. This is not January. I took the month of January to really focus, and that's pretty much what this podcast is about, what this episode is about. It feels really good to be here, to be talking to you. It feels like, so many things have been going on in my head. I've just been dying to share, and I've been really intentional about journaling, about sitting in silence, about putting things into the notes of my phone, about putting things into written form. But for some reason, the podcast material, I just have headings. I don't have any of these subtitles. So I feel like the energy today will be maybe a little bit mishmash, but hi. How are you doing? Where are you sitting? Where are you walking? What are you listening to? After me, before me? How have you been? Where is your business? Where is your head at? And how have you started the year? Really, today, what I want to talk about is deeper connections and about, I didn't know how to say it so that it was like something's deeper and something's more shallow. So, deeper connections versus shallow social media. What I mean by that is, I have not taken a hiatus from social media. I haven't taken a big break that I'm going to tell everybody about and brag about and then upload 129 photos. I am not here to tell you that 2022 is going to be the year of no social media. It's all going to implode. I am here to tell you that for me, I really wanted to get to know myself more, and I wanted to get my business to another level, and things had to change. And one of those things is social media. Not in a, as I was just saying, a huge dramatic way, but I stopped making stories. So I'm 3 weeks into that. I posted one on Sunday, but really, to be totally transparent, that was just to bring traffic back. I've had no problem with traffic on my social media. So if we use Instagram as an example, Instagram, we posted 65 posts, I think, in January. That was me trying with every post as much as possible. Every now and then I would post one that is maybe just a one-liner or a detail or the title and the medium. But with every post, I'm trying to make not necessarily a call to action, but something a little bit more for the viewer or the reader to chew on. So that can be in the form of directing them to my blog, which we posted 2 blog posts in January. One of them was a speech of mine, which you can listen to here if you go back to last December. I think that was posted. And another one that was just a recipe. It was just a recipe that I just happened to make, these little protein bites, which were very healthy, very easy, and tasted a bit like a Bounty bar. So I was able to direct people to the blog. I was able to direct people to certain paintings on my website. I was able to tell people about my unintentional artist subscription model, which is growing. And I am being less on social media means that you have time. Like, I have 3 kids and I run my own business, and I'm currently training for a marathon, but I have time. Like, I admit that the last week my screen time had gone up by 22%, but that was because I thought I had COVID. I got a positive test, and then I did a PCR and it was negative, and then I did another flu and it was positive. So I was basically just isolating anyway. They're all been positive since, another PCR or positive, negative. So, but with that, I was in bed, I had a sore throat, and I was on my phone more, and I let myself be. I let myself be on the phone. I let myself watch rubbish. And then what would happen is at night I would have this burst of energy, and that's when I would do all my work. So by Friday of last week, I was back into the studio, and I'd already got out of my really nice pattern of quiet. and of having time, because it's like a muscle memory, you just open social media without even thinking. It's like you lift your phone in the morning without even thinking. And I really wanted to get back to reading a book without thinking about my phone. And I wanted to sit in my business and put together a sketchbook. And the only way I could do that was to take some things down a notch. So one of those things was social media. So I'm still on there. I'm still browsing. I actually love Pinterest at the minute because we have the plans approved to do the renovations of our house. Don't know how I'm going to afford them though, so nothing's happening yet. But because of that, I'm on Pinterest more. I just am not on stories. And the more that I pick that apart, I could say that it is to do with the flippancy of stories. And I'm going to tell you in a minute about the deeper connections that I am making, that I am intentionally making. I want them in my life. I want them in my workplace. I want them with my customers. I want them with my friends. I want them with my husband, with my kids, with my dog, with my new cat. That's what's happened in 2022. We got a cat for my son's 13th birthday. He's wanted a cat for so long, and I used to call them rats, even though I loved cats growing up. But I remember whenever there was a person who's really active on social media and always has been. When they introduced me to stories, I remember the line they said, and it was, "Oh, you can post whatever you want and then it goes down after 24 hours. So you don't need to overthink it." And so I took that as like I talk to camera and I post it. I don't reshoot it 40 times. But apparently people do reshoot stories 40 times. So I'm how long into the game? Excuse me, I'll have a drink of green tea. I'm dying for a coffee, actually. But I'm delivering frames after this I'm doing really large canvas prints for a customer. That is not something I'm going to be bringing out, I don't think. But it's for a really valued customer and I'm really excited about it. So my brother made a big frame for that. But I remember they introduced me to those and they were like, "Oh, it just goes up, goes down." And to me, that says it all. To me, that's exactly what I see in my kids. I see in them watching these. It's not called stories or reels. It's called shorts on YouTube. And that is reducing our attention span by millisecond. And what a tragic, bloody way to live. Like, that's actually how I feel right now when I have to give a ban to my kids. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm not telling you I'm a queen sitting on my throne with social media down below me. Not at all. You all know that I built my business pretty much on it. But I'm just looking at things as seasonal. And I'm also looking at things as longevity. What do I want in my kids? I want my kids to say they've read a book in a year, instead of telling me that they've got FIFA to the blah, 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 blah. Not that FIFA's social media, it's gaming, which is a whole other world. But I want them to not sit at I basically just exploded as well, like at the start of January. And we were on our way back from my sister-in-law's and I just was like, right, because they were all fighting in the back seat, which is fine. That they're 3 boys, they do that. But I just really projectile vomited everything that I felt about me looking at them. Whenever you drop the ball or you're doing a workout downstairs in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, they come down, they grab a phone, they grab a device, they eat a bowl of cereal and they have a device in front of them. What? How has that happened? How have I let that happen? And the same with me, my husband could be talking to me or I could be talking to him and his head's on a phone. We all know that we don't listen. You can't listen and scroll your phone at the same time. You can't do it. And this is not your lecture to be, but I do want you to be more mindful too. And the reason that I want to be more mindful and I want to be more animated about it is because I see the benefit in it. Last night I've decided, so on the deeper connections, this will make sense. So shallow is obviously the shallow waters of social media. Yes, we can build connections. Yes, we can help people. Yes, we can make ourselves reach. We can reach people. That is the whole thing. We can make connections. It's brilliant, right? But it's shallow. It's on the surface level. Whereas I want to be deeper connections. And that was the only thing that I felt I needed to do. And even though it's going to cost me money, even though my tax bill made me weep, like actually weep, and I can't complain because I work hard and you have to pay taxes, but it just caught me off guard and it made me cry for about an hour. My big son came in and was like, "Are you okay?" You know, nothing is secure in what I do, but I've rode the wave this far, and that's why I can tell you that you'll be fine, and you will, and the universe, God, always does show up. But living on a prayer, has its advantages too. But with that worry over money, over whatever, I knew when I was coming back from on the plane from Utah, we went over to visit friends who are amazing and have this cool chalet. I hate skiing. I'm putting it out there. I don't like it. I've been so many times now but I don't like it. I like the snow. I loved everything about there, but I can't be bothered with the skiing. But anyway, we were there with friends, and on the way back, even when I was there and I was reading my book, I always like to read a business book and a novel, but I'm distracted like everybody else. Anyway, the one thing that I knew I wanted to do was to write to each one of my customers. And that's everybody that's bought an original piece of art off me. And that database goes back a very long time. And there will be people, if you're listening and you don't get one from me, please let me know. I'm being serious. I just didn't have my head wasn't in the game. I didn't have podcasts to listen to back then when I started. I was just fumbling my way. And I never thought someone would buy an original. But that's a lot of people. So between myself and Sharon, we designed a card. The card has been printed, both sides. She's making the labels. The database is constantly updated. And this week, I decided I had to write 10 cards a night. And I had to. So last night at 8:30, I'm just like sitting in my bed. I'm tired at the minute. I guess it's running and training and injury. There's always injuries with this blooming running and Ironman stuff, isn't there? But I keep telling myself, what else would you be doing, Ali? What else would you be doing? Probably a lot of things. But anyway, my son and I were sitting and we were doing, he said to me, what is it you like to go on? And I said, it's Pinterest actually. And we looked at a few different kitchens, like he cares. He just wanted to stay up. So one of the things we came across, obviously Pinterest shows you what you're interested in. So it showed me a pin that was, your year for 2022. And all the things were like, a habit you'd like to kick. A skill you want to learn. But he was really invested in this. And then he said, I'm going to go get my notebook. And it's his notebook that he does his spellings in. And we sat and I started writing the cards, but we both set our intentions. And I tried to explain to him because he then said, oh my goodness, is this for the whole year? So we had to rethink his thinking about, sweets, giving up sweets. But it was a really solid conversation about it's good to have these intentions. It's good to write them down because you see them. It's good to talk about them with someone else because it's called accountability. And we had this lovely moment. Now, obviously, he pushed the boundaries, and an hour later, he was still faffing about and being a pain. But I look on that and think, how cool that. Now, granted, it was with the phone. Okay, I get that. But it started with the phone. The phone was set aside. Like, we had that moment together, and this morning we were still talking about it. If I'd gone to bed and opened up my... Anyway, you all know the drill. I don't need to talk to you about how you spend your time. I don't need to talk to you about where your business is in relation to social media. But for me, and then I had to write my 10 things because I'd forgotten to write them. But I wrote those 10 cards. I realised I didn't count very well either. You know the way at the top of a spreadsheet, the one is like the bar, the handle, so it's not actually a person's name. So I was like, typical. I was about to put them away and realised I had one more to do. Yeah, so that was it. That's an example of deeper connections. I actually, it's not a lecture, but I do urge you to do the same. I am writing down when I'm sad. I'm writing down when I'm frustrated. I'm talking more. I just don't want to be in the same patterns. I just had a conversation with a friend who's a teacher, and we were talking about the heaviness of COVID. And you don't want to sound dramatic, and you don't want to sound like, you're living in trauma. Of course, it's not. In reality or perspective is a big thing. People are going through a lot worse. But COVID is this underlying, overlapping, consistent thing. It affects everything. It affects whether I put a workshop out. It affects how many people I have in a workshop. It's affected every workshop so far because somebody has had COVID. And it's financially, just the diary, like everything has to change for it. You lose a space on another one when you move a kid onto the next one. I thought I'd COVID last week, so I missed out on 2 people coming to the studio to look at paintings. They could have been sales. They could have gone to an artist now and bought something else. So I think what I'm trying to say am I being a bit aggressive? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm just fired up. Well, what I want to say to you is make a deeper connection today, even if it's your skill. Make a deeper connection with whatever your skill is. If you're a singer, just start putting it out in the world. That's the other thing I'm really thinking about as well. When I do a painting of my own, that is me. That is what I'm here for, the painting. The business stuff, I just have to keep doing it. And there's days I don't want to do all the stuff and the things. And like today, I have to set a program up. I keep passing it over from Friday, from yesterday, Monday. But I have to do that. And yeah, and maybe I'm the same as everybody else this year. Maybe I've just started the year off with the same jargon. But I'm living proof that it works. January was a really, really, really good month for my business. And yeah, I'm extremely thankful that it is, because you just don't know on January 1st if it's going to be or not. So keep going. Let me know. There's we have my mentorship now. We have, I think there's maybe a gap for April. Ooh, it might be May, April or May. That's your 4 sessions. And if not, please check out the YouTube channel. Please tell your friends and subscribe, because that's the other thing is, when you're more intentional about where you spend your time, then you do need to be subscribed to these things that you want to hear. So for me, I'm really enjoying Dax Shepard's podcast at the minute, and I realized yesterday I wasn't subscribed. So like, if you like this podcast, I'd love you to subscribe. We do have really exciting visitors actually coming on. We have Pete Snodden, who is a Northern Irish DJ and like radio DJ as well. We have Annette Kelly, who is Little Penny Thoughts, which is massive. She's like huge, shares beautiful wisdom. And we have other people lined up. Andrew Trimble as well, who played rugby for Ireland and Ulster, and who is the best crack. So I've known him a long time. Looking forward to that. So yeah, we've got those guests coming along, but for now, sorry that it's me. If you have any questions, if you have any topics that you want me to discuss, please let me know. I've set my notebook away for now, but I can let you know them in the next episode. Have a good one. Thanks for listening. Happy 2022. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for taking the time to listen. And if you want to check out more of my paintings, I would love you to do so. You can check out alihart.com. There's so much more on my website. There's my YouTube channel. And if you really are serious about building your creative practice, then my mentorship program is only 4 weeks long, and it's a really good foundation to set you up no matter what stage you're at for projecting forward so that you can be the successful creative that you're intended to be. Either way, have a great day, and thanks again for giving me your time.